Warning, if you're faint of heart or easily offended, this show is not for you.
All right, welcome to the Nick Vertucci Show. I am Nick Vertucci, and believe it or not, I am here with Veronica Brill. We are taking a third shot at this, and we don't even really have a show agenda today other than just like catching up.
It's a bad start. It's bad to start with that. They don't want to hear that. Tell them we're ready.
I bet you we last about 1 hour before we break up for the fourth time. Yeah, well, that's the truth, and so I said it. But we're back. I think maybe some people want to know what happened. I don't know. We agreed we might just discuss it, but like I said, we don't really have a total agenda. So how about this? Why don't you run the show like normal? Go ahead.
Okay, so cue the intro music. So we went on a hiatus. I didn't realize, because I was so mad at you, I didn't realize that you stopped recording altogether.
I did.
Went into a fully depressed mode.
Oh, yeah.
Decided to take a break from fighting with Berkey up until this week. And now things are just back in full throttle.
Yeah, it was this huge dip, and if you feel the need to attribute it to you leaving, then we'll do that.
Correlation equals causation,
yeah,
obviously.
Right. Oh, wow, I got to remember that one. I won't. But so kind of what happened is this.
And tell me in the most dogmatic way possible.
Yeah, okay, and let me preface. So, yeah, I got burned out. Like, I just didn't feel like doing a podcast for whatever the reason was, and I had said this already a few times out there in the cyber world, is that I was working on a couple of 2-3 things that were really important. I started to immerse myself in it, and what people don't understand is when you do a podcast, you have to book people, you have to plan it, you have to do this, and all that was just kind of getting in the way. And I just said, you know what? I just don't want to do something I don't want to do right now.
No, just tell the truth.
Okay, go.
Tell the truth.
You tell me the truth.
You can't do the show without me. You attempted to get other co-commentators. They did not gel with you or tolerate you the way I do.
Well, first of all, you don't tolerate me. That's the reason we break up.
I feel like what I do is considered within the definition of tolerance.
Oh, my God. Well, you are from the tolerance party. So
the woke party.
The woke tolerance, yeah.
No, but I think that you just couldn't run the show without me. I think that's what's happening. We were trying to get a therapist to do like a live session with us because we
mediate.
really need therapy and probably a lawyer to mediate. Yeah. But I mean, we're making an attempt. I realize that I'm partnered with the biggest villain in poker at this point.
I am.
Everyone hates you.
Yeah, even my mom, and she's not alive, but I think so.
Yeah, so I've been doing nothing but having a great time in the last 3-4 months.
You have a new boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend.
Very
much
busy.
love him. Been very busy.
Yeah, you glow when you talk.
I'm glowing, but I'm also fat. I'm glowing because I'm fat. Because the two of us combined, I think we've gained over 30 pounds together because, that's what happens when you are happy in a relationship.
Well, you know what's just so interesting about you being fat is that on our second attempt through this, all you did every podcast was call me fat. I lost 25 pounds and you gained it. I think it's pretty, like, that's just the system working right there. I
lost my little avocado.
And you gained an avocado.
Well, I'm not pregnant. Let's not call me an avocado.
Are you sure you're not?
I mean, there's
always
never
a
a
chance.
zero.
Yeah.
Right. But pretty sure.
Okay, good. All right.
So, I mean, I'm not like every other woman in poker right now, Haley and Kitty, who are pregnant.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is, I mean, like, congratulations, Haley, by the way. Can you imagine being like the kid who bullies her child? I don't know if she's having, I think she's having a boy. Can you imagine the kid who bullies her child, that she's going to go off? I think she would. Is she going to get mad if I say she would fight a kid for her child, to protect her child?
I don't think Haley would care about any of that.
I love Haley.
Yeah.
I love you, Haley.
Yeah.
I miss Haley.
Yeah.
But yeah, pregnant Haley. So yeah, she's an avocado. I'm just fat.
I haven't seen her. Is she? She probably is, right?
I mean, she's got a little seed in there.
Yeah, it's got a
she's
baby.
An avocado.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So yeah, I've been taking a hiatus, working a lot, hanging out with the boyfriend, and he was supposed to come with me to LA, but it ended up becoming too much of an ordeal.
This trip here?
Yeah. But he didn't want to just like sit around and wait for me the whole weekend because this whole weekend's booked.
He could have hung out here, hung out with the cats.
He should have mediated.
He could have mediated.
He doesn't want that headache.
That wouldn't be fair because he'd lean your way, probably, right?
For sure.
Because he still wants sex.
But
right?
he also,
you know what I mean? Like
he's getting it either way. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, I mean, like he wouldn't want the headache. He's too like quiet and introverted to do this kind of stuff. He would hate it. Yeah.
Well, it would have been interesting with a mediator, but, we'll probably open a few files here and see what people think.
So one thing I told Nick was that we should just be a little more transparent because we used to fight on the show and we would quietly fight and fucking stab each other with our eyes and then go to the back and like have a fight. And I was thinking we should just be vulnerable and let them see what we go through and just be more open with it. Might be a better experience for everyone else. I'm
open to that, and you're gonna think I'm trolling when I say this if you can handle it.
I mean, I can handle it. I called you fat for 6 months. I might as well fucking handle it.
Okay. I'm all down for that. I'm sure what's funny is I think we have the same narrative but different, meaning like but different.
Same but different.
But it's like in the same lane, like of what we just like. You feel this, I feel that, and it's like so much kind of the same thing. And I really believe this, and this will start us off with a good go here. Is I really believe you are mostly the problem.
Berkey. I totally feel where you're coming from.
That was a joke.
I know. So speaking of mortal enemies, yours, not mine. You hosted Spaces last night with Eden Rocks.
Yeah.
Of all people.
I know.
The schmuck of poker. The guy that I am telling you that
he wants to make up with you.
I don't give a shit what he wants to do.
Okay. Well, he wants to make up with you. He's trying to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah, so talk to me about this leaf that he's turning over.
Whatever. Eden's Eden, okay? He's still the same Eden. They're still all the same characteristics, but hey, what's up there, Whiskey Cat?
Is he actually called Whiskey?
Her name is Whiskey.
Her?
The black one is Salem, him, and he'll be up here soon. So I got Whiskey at 5 weeks. Mindy, who I work with, found him, and he was feral, which means he wanted to kill me or she wanted to kill me when I first tried to touch her. I was scared shitless of her.
Like most women, yeah.
Yeah, total rejection. I'm used to it, so I kept persisting like normal. And she wound up, even though they only bottle feed when they're really little, but I had to bottle feed her to get her to eat, and she's got a lot of issues like you. But I feel like I owe her a life. And so Salem, the black cat, which I got because black cats are killed more than other cats because people are superstitious, so they're put down more. So I got the black cat. Hi, baby.
Imagine being that dogmatic, huh?
Yeah. And so there he is. He's coming. And he was nurtured from a baby, so he's like wants to cuddle, and he's always up in your grill. And she's a little sketchy, but I'm going to take care of her.
If anybody loves to save a hoe, that's you.
I do.
Yeah.
Save a hoe. Save a hoe, baby.
So talk to me about Eden. You didn't finish your thought about Eden.
Okay, so here's the deal. Eden and I really had a tough time with Eden because of, Eden was drinking and it probably added to a lot of his...
No.
Come on, stop.
This is news to me.
Stop. And so, I tried to give Eden some constructive criticism, and he took it as, dragging him.
Constructive or unsolicited advice?
Unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I really did. Hey, Salem, what's up? So that's Salem. Anyways, Black Cat Lives Matter. So.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But she does. I love him. All right. So anyways, he's made a comeback on Spaces, and he's been a lot better, and I really don't have anything against him. I really didn't, other than
oh God, I want to see
what's going to happen. Yeah, and So last night, what happened was this. I was in a room. It was a very hostile room.
Oh, last night's Spaces that Eden co-hosted with you?
No, before. So I was in a room. So this is how it happened. So I'm going to tell you.
A physical room or a Spaces room?
Oh, a Spaces room.
Okay.
And there was about 4 or 5 people in there that I don't jive with.
Wait, so you were in someone else's Spaces?
First.
Okay, whose?
Player, God, I'm so sorry,
okay, but
buddy.
who was in there with him?
I maybe Barry was co-hosting. I can't remember. But I don't even want to say their names, but I'll say one of them. But there's like 3 or 4 guys in there that are just not fans, and they're always whatever. So, going at it, and they like to come after me. And so, what happened was last night was Eden kind of like was making comments about the past and about me, and I said, I'll tell you what. Because he brought it up somehow, he's able to always bring it back to something that happened because he still does that. He's still like a little paranoid about the past and things.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, not as bad, I'm telling you.
Okay.
And so what I said was this. I said, I'll tell you what, Eden. I said, I don't really like, you caused a lot of your own issues, but I will say this. Look, I don't have anything against you. How about this? You don't even have to say anything. I'll just say, hey, man, it's good. Sorry that happened. I don't want you to be upset. Like basically, even though I'm not on an apology tour anymore ever. But with him, I was like, I just thought he was trying hard and I want him to feel better. And Eden, in Eden form, wouldn't just accept that. And he would say, well, yeah, I don't know about that, but this and that. And he kept going. And I kept saying, okay, that's fine on that too. And then I finally said, Eden, listen, like, that's all I got for you. I'm not going to blow you. I just said I'm sorry because I wanted you to feel better. But if you press me, I'm going to say all the things that like you're wrong about right now because you caused most of your own problems. And then so this troll on there, Lorenzo from back east somewhere, sounds like an Italian guy, came up and he's just causes trouble always. And he's like, that's such the most insincere bullshit apology. Like you apologize to him and then say, but if you don't stop, then I'm going to, whatever. I said, no, I said what I said. Like, I want this guy to feel better and blah, blah, blah. So it just kept going. And then the other 2 or 3 people, and I said, you know what, this is boring and stupid. So I got off and I DM'd Eden. I said, I'm going to fire up a space. Do you want to co-host? He jumped on. It went for 2 hours. It was like classic. It was he did amazing. It was a great space. Everybody talked because I controlled it where there wasn't all the bullshit where, I think Uptown Greg came on once to start to say one of his stupid things. And I just ran him. Like, fuck it. I don't care. This isn't about free speech. This is about like being able to fucking communicate. And some of people don't do that. So that's why I co-hosted with him and it went very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when I first met him that he was like, he had something. There was something there. Like maybe talented might be the word to describe what he had, but he had like something. But then again, like you said, he is his own worst enemy. And then he rubbed me the wrong way many times.
Of course.
And there's nothing better than that classic night during the World Series of Poker when Daniel Negreanu was drunk after
he lit him up.
The Stanley Cup and lit his ass up. And then Eden, of course, in the classic Eden style, did the switch and made it into this like positive thing that him and Daniel were like
V1 against V1, all that
working together. And it's like he always, like a narcissist saves face. But I'm just not a fan.
Well,
it's whatever. I hope he does well. I wish him the best. I hope he has stopped drinking.
Listen.
And I want to know because Sean Deeb offered him $5,000 if he didn't smoke till the end of the year, and there's a picture of him smoking.
I don't know. So probably. I'm sure he has. But, the thing is this. Look, everybody, like I just told you about Whiskey Cat. It's different than Salem. Who knows how the fuck he was raised? Who knows what his issues are, if he has any? And I say if, because I don't want him to think I'm dragging him. And it's like this. Look, man, like the guy leans into the spaces thing. It probably means a lot to him. And the reason he's very good at it is because A, he has the time. B, his quirks, let's call them quirks, sell. It's drama. People want to hear it. And when he wants to run a room right, he knows how to do it too. So like I've often said that like Eden is very much marketable when it comes to the spaces. People will hop on when he's on there. I've never denied that because people want drama and they want things. And he's blocking all these people. And if you're listening, Eden, unblock them. Like those people that come in to give you shit are the ones that like are great for you. People that don't like you are just as good as the people that like you for whatever you're doing. And they're still watching and listening. So I would unblock him and lean into it and just keep doing what he's doing. I mean, if he enjoys it, he enjoys it. Like whatever. Like there's no real plus EV monetarily in it unless something happens. But I don't know, the Eden Rocks Corporation, who knows what can happen down the line.
Well, I mean, he had opportunities that he squandered.
He messed them up. He messed it up.
So I think like for a niche audience, for his, for his male simps who love him, who haven't touched a woman in 20 years, I think that he's great. But for like a big mainstream audience, I think he would just like burn his opportunities down like he did all summer.
He would burn his opportunities down because he would be paranoid about something and he would cause an issue with the person that was like repping him or the company. And I think that's how it would happen.
I think Poker Night in America offered to bring him in and to do spaces from there. And
but the people, if he had those blow ups or he was doing that, would love him. Like they would hate him, but they would be like, I can't wait to watch Eden's piece.
Oh, so this is the thing that I was saying. I'm like, when I come on your show, there's like a handful of people, more than a handful of people who just love to hate me. And when I'm not there, I feel like they're bored, and I'm giving them this gift.
Yeah.
By being here.
Yeah. Well,
allowing them to hate me.
If you go through the comments, 3/4 of them hate me.
Yeah. I mean, and
so half of them want to screw you. The other quarter loves you, and then the other quarter just wants to drag you.
Yeah. And I love every minute of it. I mean, I'm giving them something to do. You're fucking welcome. I'm back.
Yeah. Well, between the two of us, we could be the two most hated people in almost poker.
The two most hated middle-aged people.
Middle-aged people in poker. Yeah. And, I've come a long way because I don't care. I did care the first year.
I don't believe you. I just don't believe you can say it, but you do so much.
No,
you're now acting more that you don't care. I think you really care. Because otherwise you wouldn't be on Spaces every night noodling like, oh my God, guess what said?
No, I find entertainment in it. And I'll tell you how much...
You know what you should be doing? You should be having sex. Like the rest of us.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you go through down times. So...
Literally.
So, yeah. No, I'm telling you, there are a couple things you could say to me, which I won't say because then that'll, that will get me. That they're personal to me. But as far as just like, okay, Vertucci's a douchebag. He's a scumbag. He's a this. I don't care. I don't care about Jack 4. I don't care about if people think I was doing this or that. Those things, I'm telling you, I really don't care. Now, if I'm in a shitty mood that day and I read something, I might care a little more and I might even want to go into fight mode more. But honestly, I really don't. I'm telling you.
Let's delineate what you're saying because I think that it's okay to care about Jack 4, be interested in the topic and talk about it.
I do that.
And not want to be insulted and be dragged for that. So there's like...
Sure.
That you are interested in the topics. You're obviously involved in all the spaces. You want to...
Oh, I do.
You want to know what's going on.
I don't mean I don't care about what's going on or talking about it. And here's the thing too, if you could say I care, this could be a way to your point. If I'm in a spaces or I'm in a conversation... If somebody came on yesterday in the other space that apparently was supposed to be this guy that was in, what are those things called that they talk in? What are they called?
The microphones?
No, man. On social media, they're like threads. Come on, bro.
What are you talking about? TikToks?
No, like the Discords.
Discord? The actual app Discord?
Yeah, so those Discords that were going on during Jack 4, right? People had different groups. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're talking about the Discord, like Charlie Carroll.
Yes,
Discord.
yes, Discords. Right.
Oh, like an app.
Right.
So Discord is an actual app.
Okay, whatever. Whatever. App, okay.
We're the middle-aged people, if you haven't noticed yet.
But you're hip.
You're a Gen Z, feel free to log off.
I'm a boomer, but you're more hip.
Are you actually a boomer?
66.
I didn't think you were a boomer.
I'm a boomer.
You're a young boomer, right?
Yes.
You're a very young boomer. You're baby boomer.
I'm 1966.
Yeah, but when's the starting date?
I don't know that.
I think it's probably around then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You can Google it.
Gen X, like the
I'm Gen X?
I think you're on the cusp of Gen X.
Okay, I don't even know what either are. What is Gen X? How is Gen X different than Boomer?
Boomers are just olders.
Olders? They're olders. Well, I'm olders. Whatever.
I feel like a millennial. All my friends are millennial. My boyfriend's a millennial, but I'm Gen X.
65 to 80 is Gen X.
Yeah. Yeah.
65 to 80 is. I'm Gen X. I never knew that.
Millennials 80 to.
And I gotta figure out.
You thought you were a boomer?
Yeah, fuck, I didn't know. It makes me a boomer thinking I'm a boomer, right? Okay, so
no, you're not really a boomer. You don't have like super boomerish, except for your like Trump loving.
Can you tell
stuff,
me what a boomer would be? Like what the two
older,
traits?
Older than you.
No, but what are their traits? There's something about they identify as
I feel
something.
like boomers are really lack self-awareness and like came from a generation where they had it a lot easier because things were cheaper and they were making more money relative to what things cost. And they're more self-absorbed. They're more like, well, I'm here. Well, get me the manager. No. Like,
no, I'm not like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're very boomerish.
What's Gen X?
Gen X is stuck between millennials and boomers.
Right, but what is their personality? Like, what are they supposed to be represented as?
Probably like considered a little more dated because they weren't raised with technology.
That's me.
And they're kind of like a little bit between millennial and boomer. I think they have both traits. All my friends are younger than me. I don't hang out with a lot of people my age. I feel like I feel more millennial-ish, but I know I'm Gen X.
Okay.
Because of my age.
So now we got that straight. So,
my millennial friends call me a Zoomer because I'm on Gen Z.
Oh,
because I'm on TikTok, on God, no cap, for real. I just like I try to listen to the latest music. I'm interested in new music all the time and new stuff. So I'm, keeping up with trends.
Yeah, I
also like don't want to be that person who. Like, there's a guy in my office. I don't want to. I don't think he listens. So, but he has been listening to the same music since the '90s, and he's so like dated. Yeah. He still wears the same clothes and still listens to the same thing. And I'm like, you have like been frozen in time, and I don't want to be frozen in time. I want to know what's the latest thing. I'm interested in that stuff.
Yeah, you're more interested in that than I am, but I get it. Okay, so I was in that space. And somebody was in there before I was talking about the fact that he ran a Discord. He says he spent over $100,000 on creating a software, has all the analytics, blah, blah, blah. And apparently when I, first went onto the mic, I thought he was going to fucking shred me up. But everything he said to me, although outlandish, he was respectful. And I had a good conversation with him and there was no animosity. And so when I say I don't care, like if I am talking somewhere and someone just comes up to do a hit piece or they come up to just be really toxic or negative, I will not answer their questions. So I do care that way. I'm not going to waste my time and fight an uphill battle that you can't win. But for instance, like there would be like if the only, like say Only Lies was doing a show and this person, like the other day, Conrad, was like almost going into prayer about hopefully HCL will go out of business.
Your best friend, Conrad?
Yeah. Connie. So he was almost like, please, hopefully the commerce will take over. And like he honestly I thought he was going to go into prayer.
Did you buy? He was selling 70% of his action.
Hold on. Normally, I would care about that. And I mean that. It would really bother me. I'd fire back. I don't care. And that's the truth because, he's 70%. He was selling percentages on $500 buy-ins, so apparently he's doing better.
Well, it's 70% of a 10K, so he had 3K.
Well, that's good. He's fucking balling now. What? I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. You're going to get on your mic and talk about me. I'll do the same thing. I don't care. And people, say like,
Connie, why are you talking about my boy Nick Vertucci?
You have a show. You should be more professional. I don't agree. And again, let me preface this by saying I am not anything close to these people. I'm using them as examples. I couldn't even fucking ride their coattails. But they're business owners. Elon Musk, fuck you. That's how he rolls. Dana White, fuck you. And you know what? I don't have to be, because I own Hustler, I don't have to be. That's what I was trying to do, is keep one foot in to fight and one foot into trying to like make it good with everyone. I'm not doing that anymore. If you're nice to me and you're good, I have never one time attacked someone proactively. I never will. I never have. It's always been in defense. I'm a counter puncher.
So imagine a poker world where the owners of Hustler Casino Live are two buttoned up businessmen who don't talk and are straight and narrow. Like, it would be such a weird world and the show wouldn't work. You need this angry, wild Italian man who sets everything on fire.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think Only Friends doesn't have really much to talk about.
Who's Only Friends?
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
And then you like imagine a world without Nick Vertucci drama.
Yeah,
it would be so boring.
You're
the gift that keeps on giving.
Who would you hate if you didn't have me? People. Another thing.
Well, they would hate Norman Chad.
Oh my God, I don't. Yeah, but go on.
Go on, Queen.
Go on, Queen.
Norman Chad just put out like one of the worst tweets, and he is stubbornly standing by it. Basically. Like a backhanded compliment, and just being like, oh, cute little WPT, like, oh, because there's an overlay on the guarantee.
Yeah.
So it was like in such poor taste, and he's like, I was just congratulating them. Like, we all know what you were doing, Norman. I like Norman, but like that was in poor taste, and not all of your swings are gonna hit.
Yeah, sometimes
I think he thought he was being funny.
Yeah, sometimes you miss, and I don't know if he was, and I don't know if he wasn't. Again, you have your opinion. You're like, no, dude, he was dragging him, but
he was dragging them.
Trying to be funny.
Come on, don't lie to yourself.
I mean, he brings
or the
us
audience.
Donuts when he commentates, so
yeah,
I
but
can't
I don't
say
give
anything.
a fuck about the donuts. You can say, look, he's a nice guy and he brings us donuts, but that tweet was in poor taste, and you don't have to be like, well, I don't know if he really meant it. Like, he meant it. You have a cognitive ability to know that he meant to be a fucking dick.
Okay.
But Norman, I still love you, and I'll be your ex-wife anytime.
Yeah.
But first, you got to marry me and give me half.
Yeah. So okay, that's fair.
That's like, you can like someone and give them honest feedback, especially if you're going to run a talk show and be the owner of Hustler Casino Live, who stirs every fucking pot he jumps into.
But I stir the pots that I feel like it. That's the thing. Like, I don't feel the need to jump Norman, although maybe you're right. I just, like I said, if I want to stir the pot, I'll stir it. If I don't, I'll back away from it.
I'm trying, because I already don't like Lon McCarran. I'm trying not to hate 100%
Why?
of World Series. Why? Because he victim blamed me for the Mike Postle thing.
Oh, I don't know.
We got into a Twitter fight, and he fucking tried to drag me, and I called him out for it, and then he basically... I don't know if World Series of Poker or Stones. He was a Stones ambassador. So his pockets were lined with Stones. So he was like, well, Veronica, this is your fault because you decided not to do anything about it. Like he like victim blamed me.
I see.
That was a dick move, Lon McCarran. So I'm trying not to hate Norman Chad, because I don't want to hate 100% of the commentary on World Series of Poker. Thank goodness there's Jamie Kerstetter.
There's people dragging them, and I thoroughly enjoyed their commentary at WSOP. I really did. And, the purists, there's no real, comments about poker. I thought they did very well.
So
I just could hear their voices, and it was just such a great time in poker.
I agree. We always have this discussion. Mm-hmm. People are always like, well, there needs to be more technical commentary. But, really the best shows are... high stakes poker, no technical commentary at all. Just like
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just talking about the player, building up characters, like letting the action speak for itself.
That came up ironically last night in Spaces.
I love you, Gabe, by the way.
Yeah. And I think Gabe is a legend. And
I love
AJ Benza was
Gabe's my favorite poker commentator.
I
don't care.
But people were talking about, some people were saying there isn't enough, analytical talk by him. Some were saying it was perfect, like you. I thought it was great. But what I told some of the people is, and I don't know if anyone knows this, but I believe very strongly what I was told, and it can't be dogmatic, but I'm pretty sure that all that stuff was rehearsed and taped, meaning whatever comments were.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because it worked.
For both high stakes poker and World Series of Poker main event.
And Gabe or Benza did not go in there and do all this stuff that people are, complaining about. Well, there should be more or whatever. They were amazing. The characters were amazing. It was a great show.
It was. Yeah. And it was a legendary show.
Yeah. My favorite of all shows.
Can I talk about a show?
You can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. So, I hosted Poker After Dark.
I do.
So, and I know you didn't watch a single episode that I hosted.
I didn't.
So I hosted three seasons.
Watch that.
Let me just give you a bit of a backstory. I hosted 3 seasons, the last 3 seasons. I think 3, maybe last 2. But it was like one of the greatest opportunities I had in my life. Because like, how often do you get to be on a show that's like on NBC, right?
That's cool, yeah.
But the reason why I was so overwhelmed with that opportunity is because it was a show that I had watched for like 13 years before. I watched it in my 20s and 30s. And like, I remember it used to be a sit and go. It would be on Monday through Friday at midnight for like an hour. And they would like play down from 5 to 1.
Is that how you got close with Sean Deep? Because
No.
he used to play a lot?
No. Sean used to play on Poker Night in America a lot.
Fuck. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, so I hosted the show, and I remember Steve from GG Poker, who now works for PokerStars, would come in and be like, how much to buy the show? And I would be, sitting there with Poker Go executives and GG Poker, and they'd be like, well, we're not selling the show. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So eventually GG Poker sold the show. And in my mind, Poker After Dark, now I'm not trying to poo-poo the current game of gold, right? It's a great show.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's like a reality TV show for poker.
Right.
But they bought Poker After Dark and they turned it into Game of Gold, which is fine. But why buy Poker After Dark, change the whole show and turn it into something else? Why not just keep Poker After Dark as it is and then create the Game of Gold?
I think
Why buy it from Poker Go? And like, they wanted the brand, but they rebranded it. It's just like Poker After Dark at the very bottom. It's not even the same show.
I think your idea would be the best. Keep the show and then do the runoff of the gold thing. But maybe the reason they're just doing that, or again, I think your idea is better, but is because there are so many shows now. And they just want to do something that's like that people are going to watch. They didn't
even have to spend the money to buy it from Poker Go. They could have literally just started their own show. Right. At doing what they're doing now, just as many people would have watched it, but we lost Poker After Dark.
Yeah.
This like historical show. It'd be like taking High Stakes Poker and just like, I'm right here. I know there's cats.
Yeah, sorry. Squirrel.
It would be like taking High Stakes Poker and just literally turning it into a completely like the Golden Girls sitcom, but putting High Stakes Poker at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was like a completely different show.
Is the show you referenced the show is good?
The show is good.
Yeah.
I like the show. I love the concept, but they should have just kept Poker After Dark on its own. Or without me. I don't care. Like, I'm not talking about me hosting it. I'm talking about in general as the show, we lost this like great show.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, so
but you were going to make a point.
This is a problem I have. The focus.
Yeah, and when I figured when we got into talking about us, one of the things you used to get really mad was when I looked at my phone too.
No, because I used to think, and I'm going to be honest with the audience because I said we'd be audience.
Yeah, no.
I used to think that if we're not talking about you or hustler stuff, you're out.
Yeah, that other stuff's boring. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's true. Like you start losing focus.
No, I love the cat. That's it. It's not because it's boring. But I do get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Can you do a pause, like a SpongeBob SquarePants pause, and then do like some cheesy music, and then we can just have a cat cam?
Yeah.
I think that would be... We used to have a Chloe cam, yeah.
So, okay, to your point, it is very true. When someone's talking and you're on your phone or even in a regular conversation, it is like that. So you're in theory, you're right. It's weird though because...
But why in theory?
Not in theory. Well, because you're right. But then there's also the part of like, there's just another piece of it. And the other piece of it, although you're right, is like, and this sounds so bad because you're right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to preface.
You just prefaced it with saying it sounds so bad. I just want to
be able to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because that is something that was on your list of things that bothered you, I will make an attempt at it, but I don't want to be controlled.
Listen, I know you're a professional noodler, right? You like to noodle on your phone and noodle in spaces and stuff.
Yeah, well,
all that stuff that you do, I call it noodling. And I appreciate that, but if you're running a podcast,
yeah, you're right.
There has to be a time for not noodling and time for focusing and conversations.
That's what I'm saying is that you're right.
Because it's engaging, right? When we're engaging with each other, the audience is more interested in what we're saying instead of me just spouting off my opinion about something
and me
other
acting
than
like I'm not
Hustler
paying
and Nick
attention.
Vertucci.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that's how I feel, but it's how you feel. I am interested in more than those topics, but it's fun to talk like that. But I will say this. Look at you on your notes. I got it.
Oh,
yeah, you have
yeah,
notes.
well,
you have your notes of complaints about me.
If you could preface what you're about to say, that would be really great.
I forgot what I was going to say. The only thing I will then now noodle on or address is if I get a text, I will look at it, and if it's one of my kids, I will address it. Other than that, I'll concede. There's
vodka in my drink.
It should be.
No, I'm just kidding.
You remember the one time you got fucking dusted on here and then you just went off on me?
So bad.
We couldn't even release that episode because you got hammered.
We didn't release it?
No,
I know one episode we didn't release.
You got so mad that it was so scary.
I remember there's one episode we couldn't release.
We had to stop the show.
Oh, well, I don't remember that.
And I remember Clint gave you a talk, and he's like, that was a little bit too much.
He did give me a talk.
That's the producer. Yeah, he's like, come on, man. Like, that was like, you went fucking postal.
Well, it was tequila, and then you.
Well, the truth came out.
I can't have tequila around Nick. But no, there was one episode that we couldn't release. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, do it.
So
we're now like unfiltered.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we invited.
You invited.
I really. Okay.
Not me.
So I'm a big fan of supporting up and comers, younger people who don't really haven't caught a full break or something, like just promoting people who I thought were good.
Right.
And Greg Goes All In was one of those people.
I think his stuff is good.
His stuff is
funny
really good.
Yeah. I'll give him that.
But there is something behind. During the full interview, there was a lot of there's something behind him. Like, when you talk to someone who whether or not they say something nice or not nice, you can tell whether they have an underlying happiness or bitterness or whatever. He has a lot of underlying resentment or something. I don't know if it's just towards me or to how, but it was a really.
That's not it. It wasn't towards you.
It was an awkward interview.
Yeah.
And he also said something to me that I was a little shocked about. And I thought a lot of the stuff we were doing was friendly and geared towards social media. And he took me on this pretend date. I'm 20 years older than him, right? I never assumed that I would actually be going on a date with him. And I thought it was for social media. And he's like, no, I thought it was a real date. And I was like, oh, I don't know. That was... I didn't know that.
Oh, so maybe you're saying that's why there was a little underlying something?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but you noticed it. It was kind of it was a weird interview, and then we just decided to
But there was a little more to that. Do you remember? So
he's the only guest we had to pay to come too.
You made me
appearance
do that.
fee.
You made me do that.
I thought that was really weird.
Yeah,
because to me,
I
was like,
okay,
oh,
I trusted you because I'm like, Mom, my guy must be whatever, and then we didn't even post it.
Yeah,
but. There wasn't just that. There was, and again, this is just the truth. It's how I feel. He had, I'm sorry.
I would have loved it if he knocked all those lions over.
He will eventually. He had this underlying perception of me, okay? Of the Trump supporting, white male, whatever. You could tell that everything that he was saying when I was talking to him, and I was very nice to him, and we were, whatever, but it just got it got weird. Remember one time he goes, just the energy is just weird in here. And we're thinking, well, the energy is weird here because of you. You know what I mean? You're defensive. Everything we say, you're being defensive. And he had this, he wanted to do this weird solo shtick that he was doing. You remember? Mm-hmm. And it just whatever. And then everything I said to him, he took in a woke way. You remember? And it was just I'm like, I don't remember what I said, but I'm like, hey, dude, didn't I? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, hey, and then after I walked
once
out,
you weren't the biggest snowflake in the room. It was weird.
Yeah. And I remember walking out of the room and looking at you and going, what the fuck?
I know. And I felt the same way. I was just neither one of us, when we talked about after that interview, we were like, I just don't want to release that video.
No, I wouldn't do it. We should now.
I don't know.
But we do now when things are whatever and things are a little weird, we both go, some weird energy in here.
It is really weird energy. It was weird energy.
I want to reiterate,
his content is amazing.
Top notch.
Top notch.
Every
content.
time I watch it, I'm thoroughly entertained.
Everything is so good.
Yep.
Just the long interview just was a little awkward.
It was very awkward. I think we should release it. See what people think.
Yeah, and then they're all gonna love it and be like, Nick and Veronica are assholes. Middle-aged, fucking out-of-touch assholes.
They're gonna do that.
You're such a
They're
boomer.
gonna do that anyways.
God, this whole time you haven't even been a boomer.
I know. Is that crazy? I refer to myself as that.
Let me see where else. I'm trying to go kind of light today because we have a lot to cover. Mm-hmm. But I'm starting to get allergies from those cats. I got to go take the Claritin after we're done.
Why didn't you take it already?
Because I was like in denial about potentially having allergies.
Do you know I used to be allergic to cats and all of a sudden I'm not? I was my whole life. It's the weird. I don't know what happened. I just wasn't allergic to them anymore. I grew out of it. Maybe you'll grow out of it.
Did you suddenly become allergic to cats too, or were you your whole life?
My whole life. I can remember being in my 20s.
I suddenly became allergic.
I went to one of my friend's house that had a cat. I had to leave for the week. I was going to stay there the weekend. I had to leave. Every time I got around one, within 10 minutes, I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, I'm like that with dogs and cats now. I only became allergic to everything in my like 20s and 30s.
Yeah, but when I rescued her, all of a sudden I wasn't. I thought, well, maybe it's just her. And then I got him to keep her company, and I'm good. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe you just exposed yourself enough.
Yeah, I don't know. But
so did you see Alan Kessler's? No, if I ask if you saw anything Alan Kessler did, you're going to say no.
No.
You guys are not friends.
Right.
Well, it's weird. There's just like this weird thing that Nick, somehow you're always fighting with everyone. But Alan Kessler is tweeting out that Lynn has offered to train him.
Train him what? No, that was sincere. That's why it's funny.
I know, that's why it's so fun. Train him at the gym to work.
Okay. What the fuck? How does that? Why is that even? How can that be even a thing?
Oh, sorry.
Train what? That's really funny, bro.
God. Your guy's gonna cut us just saying that line and laughing for 5 minutes and put it up on TikTok.
Remember when you go, you're so literal. I go, just right now or just today.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious.
Well, it's just, so I know that I used to work out. You know, I'm sure you've lifted a few things and put them back down in your life. But like
sandwiches,
sausage, pepperoni.
Sandwiches.
But I remember when I was training, especially in my 20s, I used to like work out properly for like 2 hours a day. I had certain macros I was eating. I was like upping my protein. You got to spend money on food and you got to have like good protein. Sorry, I'm crying. I was laughing so hard. But like Alan eats like McDonald's breakfast or whatever like coupon he gets that day. And you can't eat like that if you're going to work out. Like it's kind of in vain at that point because you need to also put good nutrients into your body if you want to get some muscle mass.
Yeah, you have to. You got to stop eating McDonald's. That's true. Maybe he will.
Maybe McDonald's has testosterone.
Maybe that's part of his
in it.
training.
Yeah. Lynn, we got to get you to get that man to eat some steak. Eat something that's worth more than $3.99.
I think I hear he eats a lot. I'm not joking. A lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I mean, there's some protein, I guess.
He said that once on a space. I swear. And he cuts the edges off.
No.
So. Well, even if he doesn't, I think it sounds good.
No.
I think so, yeah.
Alan, I hope you don't cut the edges off your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
His mom cuts them off for him.
Oh, stop. Now, see, now you know why you're hated. Now we see.
I'm running a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm running
It's always a bit. It's always a bit.
I'm running a bit.
Alan, I hope you do this with Lynn, and I hope that...
yeah.
God, can you imagine Alan coming in all swole to the
shredded.
World Series of Poker? He's like, and he's like veins popping, and he's just like, fuck you,
fucking
bro.
18-inch fucking arms.
And he just like fucking walks through the fucking the like crowd and like pushes us all over.
Yeah, and if he was like that badass, I'd have to concede that we actually were signaling and that the chips are only worth 10% of what we put on the table, because he'd be like, I'd be afraid.
Yeah,
I'd just say you're right.
You guys only have like $50,000 in monetary.
Yeah,
like cash at the
casino, right? Which is legally run, let us take the chips, and a $5,000 chip is only worth $500.
Yeah,
and so it's amazing what we've pulled off there.
Yeah.
And him and Prahlad figured that out together.
Yeah,
It was really amazing. So
Prolod, the TikTok dancer.
yeah, Tiny Dancer.
Stop!
What?
I don't know. If you haven't seen Prolod's TikTok, I suggest you do it because he's got a lot of dances on there.
Yeah.
And he's doing something right. I mean, I think he's living somewhere tropical. I don't know, dude. Is he still in LA? I don't know.
You think I haven't? I don't even know. I don't know.
Him and Charlie Carroll are my favorite cult leaders.
I mean, you know.
Wait.
But listen, that's your. I'm good with Charlie.
No. I didn't say anything about Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm getting in touch with my inner child.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about Charlie.
The best. I'm gonna say it right now. The best little poker skit I've ever seen, and I don't. Maybe it's just me because it hit me the right way. Is when Melissa, is that her name? Poo Dog. Mm-hmm. She did a little skit on him, and she put her hair longer, and she did the thing. And she did she talked like in a certain way. I swear to God, to this date, that's like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Melissa did the best Charlie Carroll, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I got to find that again and rewatch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone. Yeah. I would say
find it and watch it.
Charlie Carroll does the best Charlie Carroll, though, for sure.
Hey, man.
He's on Game of Gold.
He looks happy. He's got a kid. He's got a wife.
He's got a side piece, I think.
No, stop that.
I think he's like open, like poly.
Oh, well, then it's fine if they're open. But I wouldn't want to, like, if that was true, I don't, that's.
No.
Because it's
honestly,
marriage and I don't like to mess with that. No, all I'm saying is if he did have a side piece, I would never talk about that. But if they're an open marriage, I think that's fine.
No, that's what I'm saying. That I'm pretty sure from what I know.
So now I'm really jealous.
Well, I don't know. Like I think he's a cult leader. He's got all these, women that he reposts and stuff. So, he's going to fucking hate me.
Way to go, bro.
Charlie's going to have to block my second account because now I'm seeing all his videos.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't say anything mean about me anymore, so I'm good with him.
Oh, so as soon as someone stops...
I'm a forgiver, yes.
As soon as someone stops saying something mean about you, they can be all the cult leader that they want.
That's why when Lorenzo, and what I told you earlier, I really was sincere. Like, hey, I'm cool. Like, Eden, do your thing, man. Don't wish you
Okay, Berkey, now you know what you need to do. Just zip it.
Him.
Just zip it, and he'll love you again.
No, that's not what I mean.
And then you guys can make up.
No, I don't want to make up with Berkey.
Why?
I just don't.
Because the two of you will have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, like I said,
you guys love to hate each other. It's getting amusing at this point.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Conrad hates me worse than he does. I don't even know if Berkey hates me.
Yeah, I think Conrad does.
Conrad would if he could make one hit and get away with it. It'd be me.
Oh
yeah.
I genuinely think Conrad's a good person. He just doesn't like you.
I don't know.
In all of my interactions with him, he's not that type of. I don't think he wishes hate on anyone.
Then it's a bummer because it'd be cool to know him then if that's the case. But I really can't because of the things he says about HCL and the 18 ring cheating thing and everything else. And it's weird coming from a guy that steals out of poker pots and is a thief. Okay, so now you could go off on that, Connie. Go off, baby. Hopefully you hear it right when you fucking get your first hand in the fucking 10K that you got sponsored in. But when people say that, when people
bang, bang.
When people come after you and they say those things about you, your business, and they're not true, and I don't know where that comes from, it's just not cool. I tried to do the truce thing with those guys and they just wouldn't do it. And it's fine. Go ahead. I hope they have another 2 weeks of content just from the shit I'm saying here. I don't care.
Step back. Look at the big picture. What poker world would be good without you with Hustler and OnlyFriends not fighting?
Who's OnlyFriends? No, I guess that's just the way that it's going to be. And I think, there's people that his followers, if you saw a thread today, they're all over it. They love it, because he went on today and gave fake news because someone sent him a little clip. I think someone sent it to him and he doesn't do research at all on anything he says. And so he went on and posted the little it probably was him. He likes to tape things that he's not supposed to tape, but someone recorded the clip of me saying, I'm trying to stay focused and look at you. Someone recorded a piece of me on Spaces last night saying that he lost like 500,000 or 800,000 in like 2 or 3 sessions. And he posted it, the audio, and said, I I won the 3 times I played. Obviously, Vertucci doesn't have his facts straight, blah, blah, blah. I was talking about the bike.
Yeah.
It's clear in the audio if he had the whole clip and it was in context. And he's just a fake news guy. And then 30 people in his thread just were like, yeah, Vertucci's a douche, whatever. And it's like, he's just wrong. Like, he's always wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean.
Because he won on our show a lot. Like 500,000, I think.
Almost. Over 400,000.
Yeah.
But.
And of course I know that.
Yeah. I wanted to bring him up with his epic fight with Danielle Moon, and he's fighting with everyone right now. So I wanted to bring him up after. Yeah, I mean, like, why do the two of you fight with everyone?
Can I just hold on, bro? I'm in the middle of a podcast, but it's your second call. I don't want you to commit suicide. Are you okay?
Who is that?
Josh.
Josh.
Valerie's here. Can I call you later?
Hey, you're going, right?
Yeah, I'm live, bitch.
No, you're going to his house, the warming today.
Yeah. You gonna be there?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure you're going to be
All right.
I'm glad he called you twice to double check.
Yeah.
Like two teenage
He called
girls.
me twice to double check.
You going tonight? What are you wearing? Are you guys going to wear matching clothes?
Yeah.
Matching dresses?
Yeah. What are you wearing, Josh? Make sure you bring me a.
Actually, I'm coming in a thong.
I want. Yeah. Fuck.
Josh.
I want 2 Monte Cristos thick.
Nobody wants to see you in a thong more than
2 Monte Cristos, bro.
I got you the ones you liked the last time, the Hoyo.
Oh, I like the Hoyo de Monterey's. Yeah. I want those. Perfect. Bring a cutter and a lighter. Don't fuck it up. Okay. All right. You were talking about Danielle Moon and Berkey fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing you back because I did that.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me take that.
No,
call.
I was just saying that I wanted to do that on the next show. I wanted to kind of break down some of those tweets and the back and forth and get some more information from you. Because there's some people that they're referencing that I'm assuming are like private cash game hosts or playing in private cash games. And I don't know if you play in private cash games.
Me?
But I think you know all the people who do.
Me.
Yeah. All the hustler people who do.
I do.
You know about the games. They're all over LA.
Yeah. So let me.
I get invited to them too, by the way.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say it this way. So first of all, there had been a huge lull when we broke up. Everything was just like silent.
Up until like this week?
Up until like a couple weeks because we had the Mars cheating thing and Nick Arable and Wesley outing them. And so everybody's talking about, including the group, only friends. Okay, I said it. And so, the fuck was I saying?
Were you going to preface what you were going to say first?
No, I wasn't. So because of that, everything has gone ape shit. And because those players, of course, are hustler players, because we're in LA and all big, like, there's only a certain amount of cash, big cash players. And if they're going to play on the show, they're probably playing at home games. So I didn't know where that home game was. I didn't know it was in Yorba Linda. And I did not know who was hosting it. Believe that or not, I don't pay attention to that. Now, Ryan would, because Ryan knows every game going and who's going and where Nick's going and all that. Me, I don't pay attention to it. So I didn't know that they were doing that. But I did know Nick and Wesley were playing in home games. I just didn't know where, because we just don't discuss it. So what happened was, because they're HCL players, all 3 or 4 of them that are in this, guilty and innocent, everybody's starting to do the reference of Jack 4 again, and they're doing like the whole thing's coming back up, and they're hustler players. And of course, the group, Berkey and the guys, were doing that too. So what Danielle, I think, got upset about, and I am paraphrasing because I don't want to report fake news, but I think it was something to do, there was one person, maybe his name is Alex, that he implicated, or maybe it's a different name, I don't know. But then I know she also got upset at that, it was Cantu is the name I was trying to think of earlier. But I think Cantu and Lynn were, for Chad Powers, I think were getting players. I don't know what the rule was, so I'm not even going to say what it was. I don't know. They were playing in those games.
So Chad Powers was hosting a private game that there was cheating going on in the game.
Yes, his games are notoriously known for cheating, and there was a big cheating thing, and I think like MJ came in to audit it, and there was like this whole thing, and I think what she's upset about, besides this other person he implicated that I guess they all say is a cheater. I don't know. I don't know. No. The other person they're referencing, like Alex or somebody. I don't know, so I don't want to say. But what he also did was he took Lynn and he took Cantu and he took whoever else was playing in the game and said, well, these people were, again, paraphrasing, playing in the game, and, I'm not saying they're cheating, but what are they doing really? Like, how do you not know? And so I think what Danielle Moon basically was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, you got it wrong. You're saying, oh, I'm sure I don't know for sure if they are, but you're placing them in that, which puts the tag on them. And then whatever that other thing is that he had wrong with, the guy wasn't even there or something. So it was just a combination of a bunch of false facts, and she lit him up. And then they went back and forth. And he put a text up saying, like, what did he say? Like, I don't even care if people get cheat. Again,
the bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't believe he actually tweeted that. Let me find it. He said, honestly, I don't even fault the cheaters. When it's this fucking easy to dupe supposed pros, it's like Canada Bill Jones said, it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money. That could have been like the worst thing I've ever seen him tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if like, oh man, it's hard to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Yeah, that was a bad tweet. So when Mike Postle was cheating, he was cheating in my game, and a lot of people accused me of being aware and, like just like helping him or whatever.
Course.
They were like, oh, you were getting a cut, and then
I know
you got
how that
mad.
feels.
And I'm like, well, he was cheating right in front of me. It's so hard. It was hard in the moment to notice, like, very obviously. It was just like little things slowly coming out. It was mostly when I was doing commentary that I noticed. So, like, I get it. You can be a part of a game and not notice that someone is cheating, especially since there's a lot going on during a poker game, especially a private game. Like, my game was basically private in a casino. And there's like drinks, there's people being loud, there's like, there's like a million things going on. So you can't notice. You got to be like watching the cheater 24/7. And even then, the tournament director was helping him and covering it up. So,
well, here's the thing, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I wasn't there, but I know this on all these different things that are coming up in all these games, Chad's or the Yorba Linda one. I know this though. I would never play a home game that you're going to get cheated by somebody, whether it's collusion in the game,
or
whether
high
it's
rake,
or the rake. You can't beat the
so
rake.
High.
You can't beat the rake.
Right.
You're just going to have to get lucky and win, because over time you're just going to get killed. And you're going to get cheated by either the host, the dealer that's in cahoots with a player. Like, there's so many ways to be cheated in a home game that it's just not worth it. And you're just so minus EV of everything. You could be killed. When they come in and they shoot people in the face.
You get robbed.
They get robbed. I mean, just nothing good can come out of it. Now, did I spend some time doing that during COVID? Yes, because I was bored fucking stiff, and I went to them because the casinos were closed. But I will tell you this. I've never felt so gross over a time in my life as doing that. I didn't like it. I've said this before. Like Slay says, I love women, I love poker, and I love music. But I don't like them at the same time, and I fucking hate home games, and you will get cheated or robbed.
I went to a few private games in Vegas in penthouses, and they were run really well. I'm not going to say where or who,
sure,
because the people probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Right.
But I was like, I was treated very well. I was just watching both times.
Sure.
No, I think I went 3 times. But there was interesting stuff going on there.
Yeah.
There were girls making a lot of money.
They're making a lot of money.
Yeah, and
that's the distraction that some guys don't pay attention to being robbed.
But I
and
mean,
cheated.
I think that the people who were there for a service. You're not just there to play poker. You're there to have an experience.
Be catered to.
The girls were catering to the guys.
They have chefs. They have pretty women.
And the girls are really bright. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
They know that they're making good money. And
most of them are really pros.
Yeah. And they're so nice. I just loved them. And it's the same girls all the time. So anyway, I respect what they're doing in Vegas. I haven't been to any LA. I've been invited to some LA games, but then I always text my LA pro friends and I'm like, hey, this person is hosting and asked me to come down and play. They're like, oh, no, that person's shady. Don't do it. Oh, no, that person's fine. Yeah. Oh, that person's fine, but the rake is so ridiculous. You'll never catch a win.
Yeah. These hosts are smart. They treat you like a king when you come in. They have chefs, the food, the girls are catering to you. It's like, you're right. They're going there for a service and the rake is the payment, and just hopefully that all the other stuff doesn't happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, like the games that I went to, I don't know anything about the rake, or I don't want to like call out anybody. Like I wasn't involved in knowing the rake structure, if there was, or what they were doing. So I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. And the other ways, you get cheated in the game too, is not only is there certain rake, but there are certain dealers who take a lot of money out of the pot when you're not looking or paying attention, and the pots get overraked. And to me, is that not thievery?
I think that's the most common form.
Yeah.
The skimming the pot.
Yeah, it's bad news, and it's unethical, and I don't know.
All right, so I think this is a good start. We got a lot of recording today.
Yeah, we got someone coming in.
So for the people who have really enjoyed your show, it's your show, the Nick Vertucci Show.
Yes.
And you took a little bit of a sabbatical.
I did.
So like, tell the people what they should be expecting now that I'm potentially back maybe for another week or two before we start fighting again.
Yeah, I think what it is, I'm going to take it, before we were really adamant about maybe putting out content once a week, twice a week. And that's smart to do if, you really want to lean into that as your project. But this is a project that I do because I want to only do it when I feel like it. That could be every week. It could be tons of content, or it could just be whenever we feel like doing it if we wind up lasting. We got Andy coming in soon. We have Tuckman. We're going to be talking to Eric Person. This is all happening this weekend.
I want you to get Danielle Moon.
I tried. She didn't want to be involved.
Danielle,
she just didn't want to be in the drama, I asked her.
I love her so much. I respect her so much.
Yeah, she's pretty straightforward. Like, you'll know where you stand with her. She's the one who sent me the balloons on my 11th straight loss.
Oh,
number 11
God,
or
she's
14 or whatever it was. So I had no idea for a while, but that was pretty funny. Yeah, so that's what you can expect. I'm not sure what to expect, but we're going to be doing shows. I'm having a good time today. It feels good to be back just talking.
I think you should release a show once a week.
Well, I know, because that's what I should do.
Yeah, you should. And I'm telling you, you should. And then also, you were going through your book. And there were a lot of people who were watching you go through your book.
Oh, when I was doing the other stuff about business.
Are you still going to do that?
I might. I got to put those out. A lot of the ones that do watch that really do love it. But what you get the most views on is the most interesting shit. Like when there's just a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in drama, Nick's always neck deep in it. So, we'll come correct.
Yeah, I'm neck deep in it because I'm neck deep in it.
Well, I'm neck deep in it because, let me preface what I'm about to say. And here's what I'm going to say.
I'm neck deep in it because you fuck. Because I just don't want to kneel to the bullshit. And I just don't. And I have come to the conclusion that if you don't like me, fuck you. And if you do, I will treat you really well.
As opposed to what you were before?
Before, it was like this passive aggressive, like kind of like blowing up and having emotional moments and then walking it back because I'm like, oh, that's probably not good. I hate that fact that everyone feels that she feels. I just don't feel that way anymore because I wasn't prepared coming into HCL and getting that exposure and dealing with that type of behavior. So it was a learning process. And then like the master class was Jack 4. Like to go through that, I could probably go through anything again. And I truly will tell you, there's about 40 comments on Berkey's post today when he put up his fake news about HCL versus LATB. And I don't care.
I want to talk about next episode, you guys. I want to talk about Commerce coming out with potential live stream.
Let's do it.
And Bally's Live. I want to talk about those two.
Well, we're going to have a chance to talk about those with this. This will be out before Eric Person, but he's going to come on today, and we're going to dig deep into that because a lot of people feel that he's my competition, that he's doing things and competing with me, and I shouldn't be talking to him, and he's trying to put me out of business. And I don't believe that's true. And I communicate with him a lot more than I used to. And so Eric and I are gonna just dig it up with you, of course, because you're gonna be here. And I think it'll be a good episode. But we can talk about it, of course, on our own.
So
too.
Stay tuned because that's. I mean, I'm genuinely interested in.
There's a lot of
the future of live streams, and then I know you got your nose in everything that's going on with Commerce and.
Well, when you're in in business, one of the things that I've learned is you got to know who's coming after you. You got to know your competition. You got to know what it is. And I keep my ear to the ground. And I like, people, again, won't believe it, I like that they're coming to commerce. It drives me. Like, now that that's happening, I feel invigorated again to, like I told you the other day, I'm going to fucking get on my horse with some of the marketing stuff and some of the ideas. And it's like, it woke me up again, which is good, because in business, what I've learned when I've had successful businesses, the scariest times is when you've hit your pinnacle and you're like resting on your laurels. And that's when you get fucked, because people catch up, or you're not with the times, or something happens. And I've said this before, nothing lasts forever. HCL may not be here in 5 years. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it while it's here. And I'm looking forward to the competition. And there's more poker's better. And
finishing off this episode, are you invigorated with Bally's Live having 10.3K live viewers and Hustler having 3K?
Would you like to talk about that right now, or would you like to do it in the next show?
No, I want to leave that for the next show.
Okay, because I
want to know if you're invigorated.
I know that I can address that, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about that.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. See you guys next show.
That's right. This is the Nick Vertucci Show. I am Nick Vertucci, and for Valerie Brill, Envy out.